Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes commentary. If this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a commentary for Porky's Pooch, released in 1941. It's the 351st in the series, and it's directed by Bob Clampett. You can find this on the Looney Tunes Golden Collection Volume 5, on Porky Pig 101, and in high definition on HBO Max, which is what you're seeing now. And with me today are my fellow Pooches, Blue Genocide, Austin Kelly, and Foxinafix. Say woof, guys.
Woof.
I had to do something different for this one. But I'll point out a few things briefly. You'll notice this cartoon, it's all photos in the background. There might be one or two shots here and there that maybe aren't, but I can't really tell. I mean, if you know of a few shots, definitely let me know. But as far as I know, this is Clampett just doing photos for the backgrounds, which he kind of explored in like a Koi Decoy in the beginning and a few other places. But here he goes all out with that idea. It's the last Clampett with his old unit. Norm McCabe will take over this unit. And a few other bits and pieces, I suppose. So, yeah, you guys like this cartoon?
I think it's great, and there are a lot of daring and very cinematic type shots in it, and I think Clampett was really giving his all with this one for some reason. I find myself enjoying it a lot, actually.
Definitely, and I also want to point out one interesting thing about this one. Up until this point, Clampett would just have Porky maybe in the start and the end, but then have all these other characters, so it'd be like a framing thing. And yet here, Porky's actually featured, not in the framing device, but featured in the main part, which is odd. But now, Blue, you've been quiet. I mean, what are your thoughts on this one from what you've seen?
I mean, I'm not familiar with this one as much as you guys seem to be. This was not one that ever played. I did watch it before this commentary, and all I could think of was the fact that this was basically the same premise as the Charlie Dog cartoon.
Yeah, that one where little
jokes
orphan
are
Ada.
also exactly the same jokes, and to think that Chuck and Clampett had this rivalry going, but then Chuck exactly copied this cartoon, basically.
Yeah, really weird. Really, really weird. And here we have Donald Duck logic, Donald Duck towel logic, rather, where, you know, a character that doesn't normally wear pants for some reason wants to wear a towel, like, for modesty after a shower or something, which is really bizarre. But I always thought it was weird. I thought it was very, very weird. But I did notice that this Park Avenue address that Porky is at, if you notice on the photo, it's actually the front of, or at least one of the doors anyway, it says Termite Terrace, which would have been a funny little in-joke. That's Park Avenue for these animators.
Wow.
Which is
So
very bizarre. But
I
Austin,
cannot believe that I never noticed before that these are pictures in the background. I haven't seen this one too often, but you just mentioned it, and I had no idea. But it's a great way to do backgrounds. Do they do this more often?
I don't know offhand. I couldn't say. But it's definitely an interesting thing, and you can see the photos even more clear in this high definition version that's on HBO Max. But my guess is that doing backgrounds like this is probably more trouble than what it's worth, because you got to plan out what photos you need for all the shots and actually go out and get them. Whereas, you know, with backgrounds, you just tell your background artist, hey, I need these backgrounds for these shots. But in this case, you have to actually get a photo done. That's what I think anyway. So
I'm going to point out something.
Yeah,
I'm going to point out
sure.
something. This is a Cal Dalton scene, which is weird because obviously Cal Dalton on a Clampett cartoon is not something you expect. But he worked on the majority of the McCabe shorts, and seeing as how McCabe was about to take over this unit, I can just assume that Dalton joined the unit late into Clampett's time heading it, and then when Clampett leaves, McCabe's in, and, you know, he works on the rest of those McCabe cartoons. And I think this is Izzy Ellis right here.
Because I'm also thinking, because we already covered one one Norman Cape cartoon, because one was already released, which was Robinson Crusoe Jr., and this one was released afterwards. So if I'm guessing, this cartoon probably took a lot longer to make, and I think part of it might be to do with the backgrounds. But and speaking of backgrounds and animation, if you look at the window scene very shortly, you'll notice that there's a bit of an animation mistake. You'll see it where you see sort of half of the dog's body. It is coming up very, very shortly. So just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. I think it's almost here.
It was one of the cheaper black and white cartoons. They really couldn't afford to reshoot mistakes like that. So,
see, there it is. See on the bottom.
It's kind of wonky.
But yeah, look, it's not a big deal or anything. I just thought I'd point it out. It's a funny, still a great short. I think it's one of Bob Clampett's best in his old unit, and one of his best overall. I think I quite enjoyed this one.
I can't get over the fact that this is basically Charlie Dog.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's interesting. It's kind of funny that, Jones kind of hated Clampett, and he was just so willing to steal one of his ideas and then make it into, like, one of his most famous characters. Because obviously Charlie Dog is great. And he is Clampett.
I think this ending is a little sweeter than what would have happened in Little Orphan Airedale.
Wow, that's pretty dark there. But anyway, but that's pretty much another one all wrapped up as we see this dog just happy, not injured whatsoever, of course. Cartoon logic. Why not? So we can say bye to Clampett's old Porky unit and say hello to the Avery unit. So thanks very much for listening, guys, and until next time, take care.
See ya.
Where the Scottish dog went.